seem really confident. It's a practice or we start there? We start there. No, wrong. Shoot, yeah, so rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'll go first.
Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to Blankenheim for this media conference with Marc Guehi. As ever, we can keep it to 3 questions per person in the first instance and we'll have a short embargo section at the end as well. I think as ever, Rob Dorset, do you want to get us underway?
Hey Mark, good to see you. I know the players tend not to listen to us lot in the media while the tournament's going on, but that's a bit of a shame in your case because the vast majority of us in this room and the fans have been saying that we think you've been England's best and most consistent player so far. How nice is that to hear? How much are you enjoying the tournament?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear. I don't think I wouldn't say I'm the best player. I think there's been quite a few really good performances, in my opinion. But yeah, I think I'm just really enjoying the tournament, enjoying being here. Just really grateful.
When you see the way the defensive unit is performing, 1 goal conceded in 3, I think you've restricted chances. Is it a bit strange from your perspective to hear a lot of the criticism and some of the booing from the fans?
I don't think the team's too focused on that, to be honest. I think we're just appreciative of those that have actually just come and supported the team in general, to be honest. Like I said, I think the camp's very calm camp, quite relaxed and focused camp at the moment. But yeah, I think everyone's just really focused on the next task at hand, to be honest.
Gareth has told the newspapers that he thinks he's maybe the reason for some of that negativity around the place, with some of England support in particular. I wonder if that's tough for you to hear, because this is a manager who's given you your opportunity, brought you to your first major tournament. How important has he been for you? How important do you think he's been for England generally?
He's been fantastic. I think if you look at his record, speaks for itself. Everyone's behind the manager, that's for sure. We've got a really close, tight-knit group, just focused on the next game, and I think everyone's just really appreciative of the manager, especially me. Him giving me my debut for England, him showing so much confidence in me. I'm really grateful, and I'm sure the rest of the team is as well.
Hi Mark.
Hi, okay.
Good, thanks. What's it been like playing with John Stones, and has Harry Maguire or anyone been in contact about your performances so far?
No, I haven't spoken to Harry, but I think me being here, Harry's played a big part in that. His consistent performances for our other tournaments, his help with me on the training pitches before, it's been amazing, and I can't speak highly enough of him and John. Playing with John's a dream, to be honest. He's top professional, makes my life so much easier, and I'm just following in his footsteps. So it's fantastic.
Watching those players over the last few years, has that helped you, do you think, step into the important role you have now?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said before, just seeing them two at the highest level, playing consistently, playing really well, never letting their country down, I think is it's paved the way for me, and I think for so many others to come through in the future as well.
just to follow up on the kind of expectation there is from fans on the team, are you feeling that as players, and do you think it will go up as you're on the perceived favourable side of the draw?
About the draw, I think everyone's seen in this competition that I don't think there is a favourable side of the draw. Every team, every opponent that you come up against is really tough to play against. But I think we just need to remain calm, and I think that's the environment that we set ourselves. We put pressure on ourselves, but it's a very calm and focused environment, I'd have to say. So we just need to continue focusing on one thing at a time, really.
Can we go Faye and then to Henry? So, Alex, first.
Hi, Mark. Nice to see you.
Hi.
England's defence is the most successful defence in the tournament so far. How proud are you of that, bearing in mind that was the focus coming into the tournament, that it was perhaps England's weakest link?
I'd say I'm content because the job's not finished. It's important that we, carry on building. And that's testament to the entire team, because we're not out there just playing by ourselves. It's the pressure from the front, it's the midfielders helping us, constant communication. So I think if we carry on building, we'll be fine.
Is that something that maybe the fans and critics outside maybe need to remember, that actually defences tend to win tournaments and not necessarily the best attacking side? Yeah,
I think it's a collective. Being able to defend really well. And if we're going to go far in this tournament, your defence needs to be really strong. So I think, the critics I'm not aware of anything anyone says anyway. So, I think as long as you carry on moving forward in the right direction, we'll be okay.
Just finally, how much has training stepped up now you're heading into the last 16?
It has a lot. Even from just the last game, the intensity's gone up. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to keep high standards, and I think it has to just remain at that level if we're going to carry on moving throughout this competition.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Mark. You captain England at under-17s, under-21s, and you were Palace captain at 21. What are your strengths? Are you just a natural leader? Is it communication?
I said this in another interview. I think my strengths are, to be continued. I don't actually really know. I'd say I'm continuously developing everything at the moment. Trying to just get better in every single department of my game, whether that is communication or whether that is distribution or defending. So I think hopefully in the future there's a few more bits to come from myself.
You told the BBC that Thiago Silva and Didier Drogba were sort of role models for you. What were their strengths that appealed to you?
I'd say resilience, both in their stories growing up, both in what they had to endure in their careers. In any professional career, it's really difficult to make it to the top. And for both of them, I think that's, for me, one thing that stands out for sure.
And given England's issues at left back, were you surprised that Tyrick is not here?
I would have loved to be. I thought he's had an amazing season, very consistent in his performances. Obviously, it's a shame. But I'm sure if he carries on, as we've seen with so many England players, that you definitely are able to get your chance.
Thanks, Henry. Jack Pitbrook.
Hi, Mark. You talked about John Stones earlier. Obviously, him and Kyle Walker have been playing tournament football for England for about 10 years now. Have they given you any particular pointers on how to get yourself through a tournament like this?
Just to be yourself. I've relied, I'd say, on them as well as the whole team, to be honest. We rely on each other, but they just told me just to be myself, to carry on doing what I'm doing, and just to support one another. I think is mostly the important thing.
And what's it like playing with Kyle Walker?
Top, unbelievable player. His career shows what he's already done in the game, but his tenacity, his leadership on the pitch really shows, especially in tough moments. So yeah, he's an amazing player.
The other day on TV, he got called a cheat code because of how quick he is in helping you guys defend against the counter-attack. Is that something that you appreciate?
Yeah, I think his pace definitely helps a lot in any situation. But it's not just that. His reading of the game is fantastic. He's not just like a one-trick pony. He's not someone that should just rely on his pace, but his intelligence to the game, his position, like I've said. So yeah, he's a fantastic player, an even better person for sure.
Thanks, Jeff. Any question? Back to Rob.
Mark, how much do you know about Slovakia? Because we thought for a long period it might be the Netherlands you were playing in the last 16. Turns it out it's Slovakia. Have you started looking at them specifically yet?
We haven't done any team analysis on them, but we all watch the games and we know they're a really good side. Obviously coming, I think it was third in the group, they qualified. But yeah, they've got some really good players in their team, Lobotka being one, the obvious one from Napoli, but a lot of good players. I think it's just going to be another tough opponent, tough challenge to deal with. But it's important that we just have to be ready for those challenges and match whatever intensity they're going to bring.
And I totally appreciate what you're saying about every team being a tough challenge and reputations haven't really counted for a lot in this tournament so far. But you can understand the fans get quite excited when they see that France, Spain, Portugal, Belgium are all on the other side of the draw. You can't meet them until much later in the tournament.
Yeah.
Does that build confidence?
I think what builds confidence is togetherness, performances, the fact that we haven't lost a game yet, which is really important. I think all the other things you can't really control. I think it's important that we just control what we can control, and that's remaining calm, focused, and dealing with whatever obstacles in front of us.
And the manager has spent his entire England career really trying to build a togetherness and an atmosphere around the England camp, which is great for you guys to go out and do your best. Is that still there? Do you still sense that? Is there still a positivity in the camp that, because it's your first experience, of course, of a major tournament?
Yeah, I think you can see it every single day in the togetherness we show when we're, playing darts or playing paddle or whatever activity it is, and it shows out on the pitch, going through tough moments on the pitch. It all shows. I think credit, like you say, to the manager, credit to the senior players that have been there for so long that allow players like me that haven't had that experience at this level to come in and just feel like themselves. So yeah, togetherness is definitely there.
I'm just going to ask one more about Anthony Gordon's chin. It came as a bit of a shock to us when we were doing live training earlier and we saw this big gash on his chin and he's got it over his arms as well. What happened?
Yeah, he fell off his bike. Boys went out on a bike ride. I actually wasn't there. I heard about it and so I was actually talking to him and wasn't really paying attention to him while I was talking to him. Turned around and I saw, the massive gash on his chin. But yeah, he's okay. He's good, but he just fell off his bike. Yeah,
Has it been a bit of a joke in camp?
A little bit. But yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well now.
I think that's part of the live section, and actually you'll be hearing from Anthony Gordon tomorrow, so you can ask more on that. We'll move on to the embargoed section. Yeah.